My favorite part of being on Harvest Haven is dealing with the cattle. We've been on the farm here for 21 years, going on 22. Growing up on the ranch, one of my favorite things was to go out with my dad and we'd walk around the cattle and look at the cows and the calves, and he'd tell me what to look for as far as a good beef animal.
There's a lot of grass-fed beef out there, and grass-fed's the big word, where the animals are just being put out into an open range and grazing there throughout the season. When you take cows and you put them on pasture, a large pasture with a watering point in the corner, they'll graze near the waterer and they'll slowly start eating the forage further and further away from the water until they've more or less exhausted the decent forage, and then they start regrazing what regrew over here and what regrew over there. But they spend a whole awful lot of time walking around looking for grass and then, of course, walking back to the water. Because of all that traffic over the ground and all the walking the cows have to do, your cows aren't gaining weight as quickly as they could either. And when cows gain weight slowly, the quality of that meat and the quality of the marbling and the fat and the flavor of that meat, it goes downhill. Some people prefer grain-fed over grass-fed for exactly this reason. They think it's the grain that makes the meat such a nice tender quality and the marbling so perfect, but it has a lot to do with the fact that on a feedlot, the cows live in a pen, they don't exercise, and they just stay closed in. And so when you're raising a finish animal, you want to keep them closed in. You want them to be able to go around and exercise, but you don't want to have your cows moving around too far. So we've borrowed this idea of confining them so that they gain weight faster and having that better quality marbling. But of course, we're doing it exclusively on grass. And also important to that is we move the water with the cows. That's why we move one segment at a time, and we have underground pipes in the pasture with valve boxes so that we can move that water with us, and so the cows never have to move more than 150, 200 feet to get to their water. The longer we've been doing this quick grazing, the more plants and grasses we're starting to see established. Old seeds from years past are finally finding their place in the pasture, and we're seeing fertility go up. We're seeing animal health go up. Fly populations going down. Parasite problems don't even exist. You can't put a farming model ahead of the quality of your food. You can't say, well, it's organic, it's grass-fed, you ought to eat it, because that's healthy. It has to be excellent. It has to be very good. And with this system here, both of them work together perfectly. It's the best thing for the pasture, and it's the best thing for your eating pleasure.